Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I have read so much about a ton of metal bands, and I swear almost every description says that the lead singer has a powerful voice. What does that even mean at this point? Why can't we have more descriptive words to describe the power of a voice? Sully Erna is going to be the singer that I listened to for the first time today, and I want to know what makes his voice so distinctive. So let's get to it. Like Arizona. Whoa.
The prophecy is upon us.
Oh, side note, this is a music video that I believe goes along with the Scorpion King. I think this was the theme song for the Scorpion King. So I've never seen this video before, but if y'all are really into it, you can go check that movie out. Let's go back just a little bit. We'll keep going.
The prophecy is upon us.
Prophecy. Ooh. That tune. Okay. Powerful. Yeah, but so much more. He's got some grit in there, but it's more like there's different kinds of grit, right? You have a grit that's like sandpaper, where there's some consistency in the grit, but it's like fairly small grains. His grit reminds me of like that rock that is that very spiky kind of rock that's covering a path that you don't want to walk barefoot down, right? It is got a lot, much more heavy grains to it. This isn't the kind of grit that you walk on. It's not sandpaper. It's gonna poke you. It's gonna tear your feet up, right? This is a very aggressive kind of grit. There are other things that make this voice powerful, and I want to get into them some more. Let's go back to where the groove started. I like the groove. Ooh, I think that was right on it. Okay, so part of the reason I like this groove is because there's a little bit of a regularity to it, boxed within regularity. So there's a feeling of breaking down 8 counts into sections of 3, 3, and 2 here, right? A lot of times we'll just have a combination of 4 and 4 to get to 8, but this is 3, 3, and 2. Hence the irregularity within regularity. And I like the way that feels a little bit disjunct, but still glued together. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And I'm really honing in on the bass for that.
I've told you this once before. Can't control me. If you try to take me down, you're gonna break. I feel your head there. Nothing that you're doing for me. I'm thinking you ought to make you run away.
His voice reminds me a little bit of David Draymond's, actually. And that's partly because you've got that grit, the gravel, right? That's the word I was looking for. There's like some sharp gravel in there. And he's also got some focus that's right here, a little snarl to give a little more cut to this sound. I don't hear a ton of dome here. We've got this sort of full-throated sound that is focused forward, and that's giving it extra cut so it can continually be heard over instruments. Additionally, in order to have a powerful voice, you need to be able to sustain the sound. A lot of times when people are first learning how to sing, we see a lot of dips in their sound where they'll sing a note, but they won't connect it to the next note. Connecting it to the next note means that they need to either sustain the phonation or sustain energy through a consonant that's happening between moments of phonation. If we go back, you'll listen to the way that he keeps his sound really present the whole time. So even when he drops down there, naturally when a voice drops lower, it tends to lose a little bit of power. But I hear the presence still. And if you even think about the S on this once, he's actually using the S and elongating it a little bit to pique our interest in what he's continuing to sing. I like that moment in particular because he actually pushes the pitch, it like bends it just a tiny bit to give it a little more edge. Try to take me down, you're gonna break. Feel your head there, nothing that you're doing for me. I'm thinking you ought to figure it away. Good sustainment. Ooh, I feel like that was a taste of the chorus. Was that like a half chorus maybe? Because it felt catchy. He adds distortion in his sound and little slides here and there that feel very much akin to how a person would play a guitar. I think that he's a multi-instrumentalist. I'm curious now if he plays guitar, and I think he does, if that came first or vocals, because it feels very, very influenced by distortion in a guitar. Okay, back and keep going. You're always hiding behind your so-called goddess. So what? You don't think that we can see your face? Ooh, I love that moment. There's so much extra in it, and it's going up to a very dissonant pitch as well. Gonna go back one more time. You're always hiding. It says, wow, 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 wow. It's like almost bluesy in the way that it's continuously under the pitch and kind of sliding up to it in places. But you know exactly what pitch he's going for. It just has it's almost, yeah, bluesy or jazzy in the styling of how he's approaching the pitch, almost kind of speaking into it a little bit. But then you have this total gravel aggression in the sound that makes it feel distinctly unbluesy or jazzy. Your so-called goddess, so what? You don't think that we can see your face. Resurrected before the final falling. I'll never rest until I can make my own way. It was interesting hearing a slightly cleaner edge to the sound throughout there. There were just a couple moments where it seems like he pulled the gravel back. Before the final falling, I'll never rest until I can make my own way. There. And in the harmony. Huh. He really does play with the pitch quite a bit, but clearly can keep it in one spot. But there's on I a few times he's really done some magnificent slides around it. It's amazing how much expression he's able to put into just one letter. Oh, back to his letter. There's a good slide off of. Lots of scooping into it there. Huh. Ooh, that bit was really interesting. I think that the name Godsmack, I'd read that it came from an Alice in Chains song. And those harmonies right there reminded me of Alice in Chains. Right, there's a heavier aspect to the overall feeling of the band, but suddenly bringing that kind of harmony into it, that's very intriguing to me. So those kinds of harmonies, they tend to be a little bit wider, a lot more parallel movement in there. That's cool. Again, with a totally different set of expression on that single letter. Huh. So every now and then he does this really hard offset of I, and he does essentially, it's almost like a growl afterwards. And that, I think, is one of the reasons people say he's got a really powerful voice. He's essentially taking a single letter in this case, or a word, he's done it in other words as well, and making them go further by creating an additional like growl afterwards. I. So he adds a schwa and after I. Sounds more primal. That's fascinating. He's going between octaves like crazy, one voice down, one voice up. It's almost like there are two sides to his voice there. The lower one has a droning element to it, I think. No, it has a lot of chest resonance in it too. But then I like the way he removes some of the weight as he goes to that upper one. There's still a good sustain in both, but it doesn't feel like he's trying to blow us away with the upper part. So there's some sort of strange relaxation in this bridge section. And there's your parallel octave. Side note, parallel octave. A lot of times people I know watch this channel and you guys might have no background in musical theory, and I just want to give you a few more things that you can really grab at to appreciate music even more. Fall more in love with the artist that you already love, or maybe discover a new artist to love. A parallel octave, when I say that, it means that the two pitches that are being sung, the high and the low one, they both have the same letter name. So maybe they're both C's, but one is a C that's in a lower spot and one's a C that's in a higher spot. And so that kind of writing has a lot of consonants in it because those pitches have very similar harmonics. So the way that they ring, it has a lot of just a lot of weaving of the sound that sounds really good together, that sounds natural together. So natural sometimes that people won't always be able to perceive a parallel octave. They'll think it's always just the same pitch itself. But the way he's approached it here and given us a bounce and forth between the low and the high and then put them together, it makes it a lot easier to distinguish between them.
Of the sky. Make me believe that this place isn't plagued by the poison in me. Help me decide if my fire will burn out before you can breathe.
Scorpion venom? Oh. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's pulling a lot of really cool moments from the video here. That looks like some sort of crazy possession. And I like the way that he used that to go back into this gravel distortion.
My fire will burn out before you can breathe. Breathe into me.
It really is very grabbing the moment he starts singing. So in order to have a powerful voice as well, we tend to use that word to describe a voice that has a fairly loud volume or loud dynamic. When we talk about just volume or amplitude in a voice, a lot of that happens when there's pressure buildup underneath the larynx. The vocal folds, right, they're going wacka, wacka, wacka when they create a pitch. So if they're closed, you can build up this pressure underneath them, or if they're closed more often as they're going like this, there's can be some more pressure buildup as well. And when there's more pressure, they tend to come together harder and create a louder sound. You have to be careful with this, because if you just build up a little, or I should say, build up a ton of pressure without first training that, maybe learning how to handle that, that can cause you to do it improperly, maybe bring them together too hard, cause some vocal damage. So it's best to train for a long period of time and get there rather than just aiming to be really loud right away. In his case, I'm guessing he's fairly loud in person. When you record on a microphone, though, you can sound really loud when you're not actually super, super, super duper loud. For example, there's a great interview I did with Lizzie Hale at one point, and she talked about how she can have this incredibly aggressive sound that isn't actually that loud. It's just all about really amazing placement. And that kind of thing can be really helpful for longevity of a career as well. When he first begins this note, you can really hear how there was pressure built up, that it was behind a sound, and then there was an attack on that pitch. Right there. One more time. Wow. He's so unspecific with the pitches to the point where you think, okay, how much more unspecific could he get until we didn't know what the pitch was? It's like he's writing that line of, he knows that his audience at this point, they know what pitch he's singing, but he's able to put so much expression into it and weave around it, and it gives us a lot more story and feeling and aggression. Like that. So much sliding there. Yeah, there's so much sustain behind the sound as well. Again, that comes back to the power. It's sustained, gravel-like aggression. a cool harmony. Ooh, it is terrifying. Also, the reduction of the sound there was really cool. All of it went together very well. Whoa. Powerful is not enough to describe Sully's voice. I think his voice has sustained, piercing aggression and sharp gravel in the tone. There's more to it still, but if you want to give some other amazing descriptive words, I suggest you write that down in the comments below this video. I think it's going to be fun to try and capture what something sounds like in words. And by the way, I talked a lot about Alice in Chains in this video. I really think there are elements of Godsmack that call back to Alice in Chains. And if you want to see some more analysis of their music, you can check that out over here. May you fall more in love with music every day.